Hello and welcome to My Family Country Life. We're doing a walk video today. We're kind of under lockdown where we are, but because we live in the bush, it's not quite the prison a lot of my viewers would likely be in right now. I appreciate you taking the time to go with us. We're just going to go for a walk here in the woods, literally. We're starting off by our wood chopping station. This is not on my property. It's a property that I have permissions to cut dead wood up, which I've been doing. Amy too is with me. He's hiding over here. And we're just going to take a walk down here and enjoy the great outdoors. It's an absolutely gorgeous day out right now. Talk about the trees. Seen is mostly the garbagey looking stuff here is alder. I do wood turn that stuff. Not a thing of beauty, but it can be done and actually makes some nice stuff. There's other trees mixed in here. The stuff that's all dead on the bottom here, that's white spruce. That is its growing habit. It'll be nice and green on top and a lot of dead branches on the bottom. The dead branch,
cut that all off.
Yeah, well, the dead branches on the bottom make terrific kindling to get starting up a fire. That stuff burns really nice. The wood is good for construction. We use it for building back in here. What else is here? That's of interest. I got to watch my footing here, so we're going kind of slow. The stuff with all the burls on it is black cherry. The black cherry, that is a disease, by the way. It does make for nice turning burls. However, if a tree gets that really bad, it will die. It's called black rot fungus. It attacks the trees. It is contagious. It passes from tree to tree. There are a few along the road that are diseased to the point where I'm going to cut them down so that they're not infecting other trees anymore. They're not going to live anyway. They're just going to die. But it's beautiful turning wood. It is really nice wood to work with. Back in here, I might get permissions on some of it, but a tree that's handling it well, a big tree, an older tree, usually handles it pretty well. And I'm not trying to destroy the area here. I'm just trying to manage what I've got access to. You can all see there's white birch. We also have gray birch growing in here. That's a nice, both of them are nice turning woods for making stuff. They also give sap. The Russians will harvest the sap from birch. Also right directly in front of us, the tree in the middle of the screen is a maple tree, red maple. I wish it was sugar maple, but these can be used for harvesting sap as well and making maple syrup. I am doing so with a couple of trees on my property. In fact, as far as maples goes, my property has the largest concentration of tappable trees I've seen back in the bush here, because I counted on our property, what, about 8 trees?
Yeah, something like that.
We've tapped 2 of them, the 2 biggest ones. We're still learning. We'll go between a couple of spruce here. Anything that's dead and can't be used for anything else, we do cut up and burn. A lot of this dead would lay in here. When we get to the summer and this is dried out some, I'm going to clean that up. All that litter hanging around is a bit of a fire hazard. And hauling it out of here is not taking that much in the way of nutrients away from the forest, so I don't feel guilty at all. Right beside us here is a river. I will not name it because it will give away my location actually quite accurately. We're at the top end of it. It is, we're actually on the floodplain right now. If we get a lot of rain, where I'm standing right now would be in the water. These trees might stay above on a kind of a low island. But yeah, it'd be very wet down here. Which is one of the reasons why there's a really big tree down here that we haven't cut down yet because we're going into the spring. And if I cut that tree down and cut it up, we've got to have the pieces all hauled out of here before we get enough rain to flood it out. Because most of it will be firewood, but there are some, it's an old gray birch. In fact, you can see it here through everything. There's a really thick trunk there. If we go up, you can see the dead top branches. It is going to be a dangerous one to take down. I will need my son and maybe a couple other people spotting for me. It's going to fall in the direction where I am right now. That's the clearest spot I can get it to go. I think I can direct this one, but it's scary because pieces might fall off on it while it's coming down. And I don't want to get hit by any of that, which is why I need people spotting, telling me what's going on.
Because anything that falls off that is going to be big enough to
yeah, it could
really
it could hurt. It could kill me.
Yeah.
And it's happened to people before. I don't really want to go there. We may cut a couple of the smaller spruce there for building material just to give it a clearer path to fall, because it's going to squash some of these alders on the way down. Make quite a mess of it. But sooner or later it's going to come down on its own, and I'd rather not be walking down here when it happens. It'll land on somebody's head. They don't call them widowmakers for nothing. It's likely rotten. It may be eaten out by carpenter ants on the bottom. I'll know while I'm cutting it by watching the sawdust, the color of the sawdust, and I'll make a difference. On the other hand, I could get some nice turning blanks off of that for larger bowls, as well as probably spalted material. And I'm hoping to make some bowls with that spalted pattern in it, something that happens because of the fungus. It's kind of cool. We can use it for that. There's some dead stubs here. I did some cutting here the other day. There's still 2 dead trees in there. And they're both going to come down possibly tomorrow, depends on what the weather's like. Because I got to keep my wood supplies up yet. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground. Ugh, and I just sank halfway to my knee on that. Be careful about it. Some alder here. Some magnificent trees. It's just beautiful down here, to be honest. And we're... Oh boy. Whoa. Okay, none of that was on film?
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay, worst part is we got to come back this way. You can see it's melting harder. There's more water going through here than before. Now I am going to attempt to cross this up here. Yeah. What we're going to is
just don't fall in.
Literally an island in the...
I'm going to jump and grab onto this birch that's
yeah. Well, my fear is going through, because if you go through,
I'll go after you do.
You go to the wall. Yeah, we don't want both our weight on it at the same time. Okay, I succeeded in crawling up.
And therefore you must film me.
This is, oh, we're gonna video this guy. This could be interesting. Okay, he didn't hurt himself.
That was exciting.
And we'll cut closer to the river here. Right now, I don't believe I can safely cross the river, as whatever those footprints.
Hey, I can see through this tree's trunk.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's about rotted out. I'm surprised that's still standing. Yeah, I'd give it a good kick and it won't be. Okay, it just...
I was like, I looked at it and I saw light coming through it and I was like, what?
Some animal walked down the middle of the river there.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
It's small enough that it won't fall through.
Yeah, if I tried that, I'd go through, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'd end up, there's a significant amount of dead wood on the other side of the river.
Let's hope a moose doesn't try to cross there.
Good firewood over there. There are some, in fact, right in front of us, there's a large, is that a pine tree? Or is that actually still a spruce? It's got the shorter needles, because it's not white pine. That really big tree there. looking right into the sun. End up messing up. There's a dead white pine over there that we want for firewood, but we can't go get right now. In fact, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
We're going to
They're
videotape
massive.
taking those down because they're more massive than this dead birch that we just looked at.
Yeah, it's downright scary inside.
And we'll walk through the woods a little further. In fact, I'm going to let this go a little longer than I normally would for a video. I just think it's so picturesque down here. And anybody who's shut in and wants to go for kind of a virtual walk, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. Plus,
This direction of the river heads down towards civilization.
which we don't want to go yet.
It does become a much bigger river down there. This is not much up here. This is a little more than a ditch. It doesn't have much water in it right now, but when it does get into flood stage, it is actually taken out the first road that direction and took out half of the next road after that. Almost stranded us back here. And the other direction, it goes up to the source, which we've never been to yet. Wesley, our Amy 2 guy here, and me are hoping at some point to manage it on bicycle, but it's actually quite a ways up yet.
I mean, we'll never reach it just by following the river.
Well, it's a very round lake that some of the locals have told me that was formed by, that's a crater from a meteorite or something. I don't know how true that is. You can believe that if you want to. I don't mind. We've got a very big broken branch here.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what kind of tree that is. It almost looks like it could be black willow.
Or, yeah, black willow.
I'm thinking black willow because they splinter up and do weird things. And they can get actually quite large. But I can't.
Good at trees.
Well, I can tell a lot of them in the bush here that I'm familiar with from their...
Hey, it looks like I could climb onto that branch.
Actually, no, I think you're right, it's maple. I see the bark up higher. It looks more like maple to me. It's all right, watch your step there because that's a little crick underneath that. Yeah, we're gonna get a fail video, watch you fall in. That'd be funny, except I gotta get you back out of this hole.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, why don't you take a seat too?
No, I'm gonna keep walking. I want to look this over. This is another island we're going on here because we kind of crossed a boundary here. In the summer, some of them are not islands, but during the winter here they are.
To get off this branch.
You want me to watch and see if you do anything really stupid? It's okay, he made it, folks. We're all good.
I didn't
go up here.
want to fall into something that had water.
We're gonna run this right up to 20 minutes or more.
Yeah.
I don't usually do videos that long, but it's really, really nice down here.
Yeah.
Now here's a spot where I'd like to get some firewood in the future. Because there's a significant amount of dead wood right here.
Yeah. A lot of broken stuff too.
Yeah. Picturesque.
Those spruces are not in good shape.
No, they're not. And this snow is kind of deep in places.
Yeah.
I see rabbit tracks on the ground here. Our beloved snowshoe hares.
Which are now turning brownish.
Yeah, they're very visible right now.
Yeah.
Because there's still snow and they're not white anymore. Thick bush again, mostly spruce. Specifically white spruce.
Snowshoe hares are most visible at the end of winter.
Actually in the beginning if they turn white and then the snow all melts.
Yeah, that.
Then they stick out like a sore thumb. It's funny, they're completely white and everything around them is dark brown and they'll stay perfectly still hoping you can't see them.
Yeah.
Tangle of brush.
They've got to have pretty strong faith.
This is a pretty good stand of spruce down here. We'll make our way through it. and then we'll get back towards the river.
Yeah. It's very thick in here.
Yeah, kind of dark.
A lot of dead wood.
It's cool, but this is technically an island, because we've got the river here, but there's a little creek that breaks off the river up further and comes around. So we're on an island in the middle of a river.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, and not many people come down here.
Yeah. And even less will when full quarantine takes effect.
No, when you got full quarantine takes effect, you're going to have people sneaking up here to fish.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know the game warden won't go down in here.
Yeah.
He doesn't like getting bit by mosquitoes and black flies.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't like to walk this freaking far. Yeah, there's a big one that fell there. That's been down for a while because the top of it's dead. The one that's kind of relaxed against the other trees there.
Yeah.
I'm back by the river again.
That one's uprooted.
Yeah, right uprooted.
I wonder when that one went down. Probably.
Probably during the storms last year because we had a lot of windstorms come through. And it's still green on top, so I...
Probably went down during Dorian.
Oh, might not even have been that long ago. Oh boy, if we get down here for firewood, look how many there are.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots of wood to be harvested. Although this one we have to do in the winter. This one here, because there is no way I can cut that one that it doesn't fall in the river.
Yeah.
I have some control over what direction it falls, but to get one that's leaning that hard over the river, it ain't falling on the land, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful down here.
You have to be really strong, like grab it and pull it towards the land.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now it is possible to run into wildlife down here. We're too freaking noisy though, which is probably good because there's some of it we don't want to encounter. There are black bear up here. They will leave people alone.
Yeah, I don't think they're awake right now, though.
No, I think they're still sleeping. That one went down. That's almost the bridge you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah,
You could also run into a full-grown bull moose down here, and if
I
he's
wonder when that one went down, because it's facing the opposite direction as the other one.
yeah, because a full-grown bull moose, if he's not in a good mood, he's as dangerous as anything else down here.
Yeah.
And it's not just his antlers; is those hooves will go right through you if he tries to kick you. In fact, a 7-inch in diameter tree, our minimum size for tapping for sap, a moose can kick one of those in half in one shot. They have a great deal of kicking power. You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
This is down by the river. Some more open ground on the other side there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kind of fun to go through here.
It is.
It's a good thing we're not limited to 10 minutes because we never get all this in only 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got a squirrel up there jumping across. I don't know if I got him on the screen though. I didn't want to jerk the camera around.
Well, I find that camera is surprisingly great at picking stuff up.
Yeah, I don't know if I was pointed the right direction.
Yeah.
You got another big one that went down over there. You can see it leaning.
Yeah. Looks almost like the same kind of lean that went on our power lines in November 2018.
Yeah.
Except
we're
that one's bigger.
We're getting toward the end of this. I'm curious if we shouldn't just try to overland toward the road or to try to retrace our steps.
Yeah, retracing our steps is kind of boring.
That's my thought exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful. There's that tree laying across the river. Not quite long enough to make, well, if you could cut the branches off of it and pull it over some, it would go all the way across. However, I am not that physically strong.
Well, we'd have to use some kind of machine to drag it across, you know.
Yeah, and getting a machine down in here is a whole other situation.
We'd probably have to assemble one down here.
Anyway, I don't know if we should continue with the camera on, because we're up over 20 minutes. We're going to try to overland it back to the road.
Yeah.
And
that's where we'll end up.
if you're still with us, let's take you for the rest of the ride over.
Yeah.
We might as well leave it on. Now we're going to go through Alder to get out of here.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of it.
Maybe we'll encounter the abandoned cars again.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be close to that.
Yeah. We'll probably see them shining in the woods again.
I don't really want to make that part of the video though.
Yeah.
Pick my way through here. Hard to believe that I can't get through here without making lots of noise. And a full-grown bull moose can go through here without making a sound.
Yeah, and pretty fast too.
See more rabbit tracks. A good bit of a ways up the hill. We've gotten away from that grove of spruce and we're heading into a stand of birch. As you can see up ahead, the nice white trunks. Still some spruce back in and around here. Some of them are quite tall. Yeah, I think we're in behind where those old cars are.
Yeah.
We'll kind of pick our way through here.
Except when we did that, there was less snow. Although it was the same month.
There's a tree that, I don't know if that one went down with Dorian because it's dead as Dorian up top.
Yeah.
Granted, it might have been dead already.
Yeah.
Quite a big tree.
It's broken.
Well, we're getting up close to the top of the ridge, so. But if anybody likes walks in the wood, you can share this because this is absolutely beautiful down here.
Yeah.
And this is our neck of the woods. Most of this is similar to what's growing on our own property. We have just short of 6 acres of this same bush. We have access to a lot of this through permissions for cutting dead wood. Also, you'd be surprised how far little wood turn gifts and stuff will bring you.
Oh, it's steep here.
Yeah, I got a bit of an adventure getting through this. But this is a ridge here that we got to cross, and then we're heading back towards the road. In fact, this is high ground here. Another stand of spruce, and when we break through that, we're going to be into the alders.
Yeah, I see the alders there.
Yep.
Quite a lot of them.
It's quite open after this. Beautiful, picturesque forest. Haven't seen any moose track, but that doesn't really surprise me. They were more up on Daryl's end. Yeah, breaking dead twigs. There's a nice burl. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice round burl. But I don't think I have permissions on this piece of dirt here, so I'm not gonna be cutting that one. I might never find it again.
Yeah.
We actually got an open spot here.
Wow, I've never seen this turn before.
That's because we've never actually been here before. We haven't walked through this exact part of the bush.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of an adventure to get through. I got something stuck on the camera. There we go. There. Nice little opening. Yeah, I think we're even further down than the dead cars were.
Yeah.
Because that's a stand of really young birch growing there. Surprised there's no aspen down here at all.
Yeah.
And there's significant amounts of that. I see a power line, yes. And that's what we're headed towards.
I'm trying to see if I can like spot the cars. And
That tells me we're almost out of here. Well, we're probably not that far from those old cars.
Yeah.
Just, do you remember what the insulator on the top of the hydro pole looked like? Because that one was different, if you recall.
It whipped me in the...
Oh yeah, we're not, don't get too close behind me. I'm trying not to spring load any of these for you. But this is alders, and it's young alders. There's not much really old stuff here. The stuff by the old cars was actually quite grown up and old. I'm stuck. There we go.
Maybe this part here is more swampy.
Possibly. Here's a birch and a spruce growing in tandem.
Probably a good thing that it's still winter.
Yeah. Well, with the green leaves, we wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
We sneak out here in time. We're going to get out at about the 30-minute mark. Have some stepping over to do here.
It's exciting.
No, it's just beautiful in here. We just don't have an established trail this direction, or it'd be a lot easier. Oh, we're getting into some light cherry. You can see the black rot fungus there. If you see that on a small tree here, you know it's cherry. Unfortunately, the really young trees like that don't do well when they get infected badly. Ah, I almost took that one in the teeth. There's a nice close-up of the black rot fungus. And if you look close, you can see the road. We're almost out, big guy.
Yeah.
Well, we're not at 30 minutes yet. But, there we go. There. We're out. This is the road we live on. One direction, that's towards home. And this is back out for deeper into the bush. This does go all the way through if you have a vehicle that can handle it. The trees here are a little bit different. This is Quaking Aspen. There is a lot of that growing here. They are generally clones of each other. They don't spread seeds. They can grow from seeds, but they usually don't. Usually all those trees are connected underground through their root system, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Really kind of cool. What they're good for, I don't know. I have turned a little bit. Made a very interesting looking bowl, but it was really crappy wood for turning.
Yeah,
I didn't rate it very high at all.
There's our landmark.
Yeah, there's the
strange insulator.
on the top of that. There's an insulator that's different than the other ones, and if you go straight in the bush from there, there's 2 abandoned cars and an abandoned pickup truck. What's left of them, anyway.
I think that's a new insulator.
60s and 70s vintage. The one's a Dodge Polara. There's a, what was it, Plymouth Charger or Dodge Challenger? I don't know. It was upside down.
Yeah.
And the truck was a Chrysler Products too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Old Dodge truck. That was a 60s model.
Yeah.
Probably the oldest vehicle there. Anyway,
But yeah,
we are right close to 30 minutes on this.
it's probably a new one.
Yeah, I'm wanting to cut this off though.
Yeah.
So my walking partner here has his own channel, Amy too, and he's done a lot of walking videos. Some of them is good or better than this one, because I don't know how good this is really, but If you like this stuff, take a look at his stuff. His channel is called Amy2. If you like my stuff, you know, go ahead and subscribe and like. Run my playlists. My main channel for woodworking is MFCP Woodworking. Go and have a look at that. This wood that you see me describing here and talking about, when I turn it and I make something out of it, I post videos there. You might find that very interesting if that's your kind of thing, and I'd love to have you over. So hope you enjoyed this walk. If you're shut in, I hope everything's going well for you. Everybody stay healthy. Always remember, if time flies, whether you're having fun or not. So it's better to have fun. So thanks for watching.